Like sometimes I like to just focus on your voice and your words without that distracting face of yours.
Yeah,
okay?
right. I have a boyfriend.
Wow, that's cool.
You can't stop smiling.
I've never met anyone like him.
Do I know him?
Nope. Don't answer that.
Hi, Eric. Who are you? Who is that?
Honey?
We met online.
You met on the internet?
Yeah.
Don't you think we should meet someday?
You are even prettier in person.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Are we recording? Like, there's someone
We
recording.
are recording.
Yes, I'll send you the files after this.
Perfect. How are you, Amy?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
I saw your movie last night, and it's so many questions because we have seen themes like this, but the exploding of a 17 years old looking for identity and having this relationship online, do you think it's a reflection of how we live in now, that we do, like most of the people that we know usually now is through a cell phone or through a computer?
Well, certainly the devices are how we're living now and how we have to navigate what is a human truth that has been around for a very long time, which is the investigation of young love. I mean, Shakespeare was in that business, and so we're still trying to figure it out. Now you have it catalyzed by the virtual experience, and the fact that people are not necessarily always in full frame. And that is scary. That's scary for a lot of us, but these are devices that we handed our children and then we sort of abandoned them. So better to look at it and understand it than think it's going to go away or to judge them for using it.
Why choosing to be a thriller? I know you also wrote the film. Why choosing this that I don't know, this narrative of a thriller? Because I mean, I have seen like same stories, but it's really interesting that you choose to be a thriller instead of, I don't know, drama or just a comedy.
Well, I wish I could take credit for writing it, but I did not write it. It was Scott Organ who wrote the play. And then, we sort of embarked upon adapting it to a film, which was all of his great craftsmanship. I really liked the fact that the part of the thriller, the genre, kept you in the present. So it doesn't really give you an opportunity to make judgments about the characters before you get to these events. I like the way that the past of the characters unfold so that you have the benefit of understanding them in real time. And that, in order to kind of Trojan horse some of the ideas of the film it helps when it's engined by something like a thriller genre. And especially when you have rich characters that you're playing with and beautiful actors who've stepped in to play them, it can be really gratifying.
I think it's also nice or like interesting how you work with young talent. I think it's really impressive how they create this chemistry around the story and everything. It sounds so real. How was that processing since you got the cast, since you start practicing with them? How was creating the chemistry with this young talent that you have in your movie?
I was really blessed because every one of these cast members are also just really excellent human beings. They're compassionate, they're non-judgmental. They really understand that we are all fallible as a species, and better to understand that than to look away from it. So they also, in my mind and what I could see in them, they had talent that had yet to be explored. So the idea that I could continue to push them into new directions was really exciting for me as a director, and I felt would also serve the story at the same time.
I'm a father of 4 years old girl, and you show a lot of fears that I have as a father. She's raising by a single mom, and how important is the father figure in a presence of a teenager. Now they're starting to find out who is she, and getting to know, because when I was raised, you get to know people in real life, but now the exposure is different. We have child trafficking, we have a lot of things, and it's a lot of fears. It's a lot of fears of the situation that we see in the movie, and I really like it how you portrayed it with with so responsibility. And what would you say? How important is the father figure in the life of a girl that's trying to discover herself with the presence of single mom? Because I was raised by a single mom too.
Yes, and I'm a single mom myself, so I am really blessed to have some really incredible examples of masculinity in my life, and I would love for us to continue to deconstruct the idea of toxic masculinity, because I think it's about balance, right? And so having male figures in your children's life, be they boys or be they girls, is a way for them to understand the human experience and to see men that carry their strength and their power in a way that allows for everybody else to stay in the room as well, is really important for them to know that that's what they demand. When young girls are looking at their fathers and they see them behaving a certain way, or maybe they act without kindness, then that's what they're going to think is love. So if you have a loving father, and even if the loving father might be as flawed as the rest of us, that's what they're going to desire. So that's my hope, at least for my own children.
Your movie was shown last year at TIFF. How was the feeling after the movie was finished? People approaching to you and telling how the movie made them feel after the showing.
The response in that audience, it was a huge audience. I was just like, couldn't even catch my breath. It was like, 2,000 people or something. And I was so deeply touched by the depth of people's thinking around the film and the kind of questions that they were asking and their willingness to see themselves in all of these characters. And for me, that's what we're doing, right? That's why we tell stories, so that we can reflect back to us things that we need to see. So, being in Toronto was incredible. That festival is such an important launch pad for so many movies. It was an absolute thrill.
We are in an era of showing movies online on the streaming services, and distribution has changed in just 3 years. And you're working with IFC. How do you feel with exposure that your movie might have in different platforms? Do you feel it's beneficial for you as a filmmaker, or do you still choose to show your movies like in a festival or in a theater, that you can see people's reaction and interact with them?
I'm incredibly lucky because IFC understands the benefits of both, right? So my movie is going into theaters all over the country starting on Friday. And so, those that choose can go and see it on a big screen, which is an experience that I think is really important, even just as a community member, to be in that room with other people and to experience a story at the same time. On the other hand, the digital universe has democratized stories. And so people that can't make it to an independent theater can still get the benefit of a complex tale, So this is not a technology that's going away anytime soon. It also allows filmmakers that don't have as many resources to tell stories. You don't need a big fancy camera, right? And that means that more people can talk about their own lived experience. And I think that's a really important part of our cultural landscape.
Amy, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the movie. I think even if it's a genre, it's blockbuster focus, it feel intimate. It feel like someone that went through this.
Thank you so much.
And I think this is super cool. And usually we don't see female directors doing these kind of stories, and that's highly appreciated too.
Thank you. Well, thank you for taking the time, and good luck with that little girl.
I don't think that I will need luck. I think I need patience.
Yeah, you'll need both.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Non-college.
Mid-20s?
Mid-20s?
Okay, you should be careful. You don't really know this guy.
You can't do that, Anna.
Too late. He wants to meet you. And I want you to meet him.
Get the hell out of my house.
Mom,
Get
no.
out now.
Look, I know that this is hard for you, but we felt like this was the right thing to do. Getting it out in the open.
Whatever you think you have with Anna, it's over.
I didn't think she'd go as crazy as she did.
I never want to see that man again.
Hey, Beth.
What's going on?
You think this is over? This whole messed up thing that you're doing here?
I don't want you to get hurt.